So how can you have sweet things without ruining your metabolism? Now, this is something that we all want to know, right? Like, if you're like me, you like your chocolate. If you're like me, you enjoy having a bit of cake every now and then. Or maybe you're someone who knows that sugar is not healthy for you, but you have no idea where to start. Or maybe you know that sugar is not healthy for you, but you've actually tried some sugar replacements and realized that they are just as bad. Or maybe you have tried some other sugar replacements and they have affected your health as well. So I learnt this the hard way. I was replacing sugar. I found out that sugar was not good for my health, it was not good for my metabolism, and it wasn't helping me achieve the health that I wanted to get. And I was buying, coconut sugar. So I'd replace all my cooking sugar with coconut sugar, and I would change out recipes for maple syrup and honey and what else was I using? Or even just buying organic sugar because, organic is supposed to be better for you. But the fact is that sugar is still sugar. It doesn't matter what form it comes in. But there is a way to have your sweet things without ruining your metabolism. So I've got this book here that I have just got from the library, and I found it very interesting. So I'm just going to, I don't know if you can see it here, I'm just going to read out something in it. Is no matter how healthy the sweetener is, it will impair your health. So you need to eliminate high carb sweeteners just as table salt. So this includes table salt, high fructose corn syrup, honey, maple syrup, coconut palm sugars. All of these will raise your blood sugar, okay, even in small amounts. So it says that sweeteners to avoid also include the seemingly healthy agave nectar. Now, I've had a few people reach out to me and ask me about agave nectar, and it is just as bad as sugar. It will still raise your blood sugar level. Now, agave is 90% fructose and has damaging effects to our metabolism. So you want to actually look after your metabolism. Now, it goes on to say not all sweeteners are bad. So there are some low-carb sweeteners that are actually healthy for you. So some other ones that I were actually using was dextrose. So they use that a lot in beer making, and you can find it in your health food aisle or your beer making aisle in the supermarket. However, dextrose and maltodextrin is another one, are also known to raise blood sugar levels. So beware of them as well. So what sweeteners can you actually use? So some here that I've got here, I've got some examples of the ones that I use in my lifestyle at the moment. And the first one I'll talk about is stevia. Okay, now stevia is a herb. That's right, it's a herb. And you can actually buy this. I was actually growing this. I bought it from my hardware store, from my nursery, and I was actually growing this in my garden. However, the kids found out that stevia is sweet, and they will literally pick the leaves off and eat them. They even had, I think my little girl, she actually dropped some stevia leaves on the ground, and the dog decided it tasted good as well. So my plan was to actually use that to sweeten things. However, they've picked all the leaves off and actually killed my plants because they liked it so much. Anyway, the thing to look at when you are buying stevia is that it is, I don't know if you can read this, 100% pure. There are stevias out there that you buy from your supermarket that have additives. Yes, so we're back to this again. You've got to read the label because they actually bulk this up. Stevia is highly potent. This little jar here, I've had for about 6 months. It's empty now because the kids like to use it in making smoothies, healthy smoothies, and they also use it to make homemade lemonade as well. But yes, at your supermarket they actually bulk this up with things like dextrose and maltodextrin. Now these are going to be, once again, they're going to spike your blood sugars, and it's not good for your health. So make sure it is 100% pure. So that's a good one. Another one that I like to use is monk fruit, but I don't actually have it here. But I'll read out what monk fruit says in this book here, because she actually recommends monk fruit as well. Monk fruit is known as the fruit of longevity. Yeah, I want to let you sink that in for a minute. And it is grown in China and Thailand. Now, it is 300 times sweeter than sugar. So obviously you only need little bits of it. And now something that this book doesn't tell you is that it is actually really good for fiber. So, you got two benefits there, good for fiber and a natural sweetener. And it doesn't have any aftertaste. Some of these sweeteners that you can use that are better for you actually have an aftertaste or have some digestive issues, which I'll cover in the next ones, but this one doesn't actually have any of that. But yeah, once again, it says here to beware that it is 100% pure, because they do like to bulk it up with dextrose or maltodextrin, and once again they will spike your blood sugars. So I think the reason behind that is because these little things are so small and they're so powerful. Like, this is so much sweeter than sugar that you only need a tiny bit. And because we are, sort of brainwashed into thinking, well, a cup of sugar is a cup of sugar, I need to replace it with a cup of something else, they like to bulk it up to make it look like you're getting more for your money. But these things, monk fruit and stevia, are so much more stronger that you only need a little bit. So that's why I presume that they bulk it up with something else to make it look like, you just need a cup for a cup. But anyway, so another one that you can actually try, this is actually, a monk fruit sweetener that I use a fair bit. I use this in ice cream making. And this one actually has erythritol. So I don't actually have pure erythritol with me at the moment, but I use that a lot in my baking, is erythritol. Now, one thing to be aware of with erythritol is this book says it doesn't actually give you an upset tummy. It does actually give me an upset tummy, so you can't use a lot of it. Only use the recommended amount and don't go overboard. And the one thing that it does say in this book is, what does it say? It says, causes discomfort. I personally avoid it because I can't tolerate it. That is for xylitol. Now, I'm the actually opposite. Erythritol actually gives me an upset tummy, whereas xylitol doesn't. So I guess it's a personal preference on that matter. But once again, xylitol is not completely no carb, so it will actually spike your blood sugars a little bit, but nowhere near as much as sugar or honey or agave nectar or maple syrup or anything like that that we're using instead of traditional sugar, because we think it's healthier, but it turns out it's not. So go figure. But yeah, xylitol is another good option that you can use for sweetening things. Now, xylitol is like 1-for-1 when you're baking, whereas monk fruit and stevia are going to be stronger. So you don't need as much of it, and just beware of that. Some of these are better for, you'll notice that I've got a few different ones because I use them for different things, and they work better. Some work better in smoothies, some work better with baking, and you've just got to play around with that a bit. So anyway, I hope you found this informative, and give me a like if you're actually watching this today, and mention replay if you're watching this in the replay. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.